your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky vowing his country will not surrender to Russia as the Kremlin agrees to a temporary ceasefire, allowing Ukrainians safe passage out through several humanitarian corridors. This woman fled to Romania.
Absolutely insane. We have Tesla cars and we have all that amazing technology in our world, and here comes war, the stupid war.
Russian troops have cut power to the Chernobyl nuclear plant. Halyushenko says it poses a risk of a radiation leak.
It's not only the question of Ukraine, that's a question of Europe. I would say even the question of the world.
The UN's atomic watchdog says there has been no critical impact on safety. The U.S. is resisting new efforts to send Soviet-era fighter jets to Ukraine. Vice President Harris is on her way to Poland to discuss the issue. CBS's Christina Ruffini is already there.
Pentagon spokesman John Kirby called any plan that involves flying jets from a U.S. or NATO-controlled base into Ukrainian airspace untenable. That's because the U.S. and NATO are trying to not engage Russia directly.
Americans are paying an for a gallon of regular gasoline this morning, and we still haven't seen the impact of President Biden's ban on Russian imports. RBC Capital's Halima Croft tells CBS Mornings,
if we have a prolonged conflict, we have to prepare ourselves for this higher price environment for gasoline.
Pfizer's begun testing its COVID pill in children under 18 at high risk of developing severe disease. Vanderbilt University Medical's Dr. William Schaffner.
Having an antiviral drug that could be given quickly and easily to these children to prevent their having to be hospitalized would be a great advance.
Democrats in Congress hailing a deal to overhaul the Postal Service. CBS's Christopher Cruz.
President Biden is expected to sign legislation that would ensure 6-day-a-week mail delivery and speed up the mail. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
A win for the tens of millions of Americans who rely on the Postal Service every single day.
The bill's author, Republican Senator Rob Portman, says it is not a bailout and no new federal money is being spent.
What this does do is it saves the post office.
Have you noticed you're paying more for less?
I was totally stranded.
No TP?
ConsumerWorld.org says manufacturers have cut the number of sheets per toilet paper roll, and they're upping prices, leaving Mr. Whipple of Whipple.
Please don't squeeze the Charmin.
S&P futures up 73. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
Work with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, liberty, live.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for a reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
Live
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 33 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Michigan Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist will be in Saginaw today as part of his tour. He'll be joined by representatives from the State Department of Transportation at 1:45, highlighting an executive director Governor Gretchen Whitmer issued to expedite short-term road repairs during the spring thaw until construction can begin to make long-term fixes. Whitmer's recently proposed budget continues to prioritize Michigan roads and bridges by allocating $6.3 billion, the largest transportation investment in Michigan history, and $1 billion more than in previous years to upgrade state and local roads, bridges, airports, transit, and rail programs. The city of Auburn is looking to make repairs to its sewer system as warmer weather rolls in, bringing with it more. Wsgw's Rick Antonio.
Auburn City Administrator David Haig met with Bay County Commissioners Tuesday to talk about using approximately $770,000 of the county's $20 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds to get the job done. To the request, Commissioner Kim Coonan from Bay City says while the repairs are important and need to be done, they aren't exactly pandemic related.
Absolutely should be done, especially if the city knows that they have a problem. Wherever you go, there's always updates that need to be done. The way they do it is through bonding over a period of time. I think the dollars should be used for kids, for at-risk families, in health care and mental health.
Coonan adds that the county needs to be wise with how it spends the rest of its ARPA money. Nearly half of it to the Bay County Health Department. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
The federal government is providing Americans more free COVID tests. The government has already provided 4 free tests on the website covidtest.gov beginning in January. Now people can order another 4 free tests. Households which haven't ordered the previous test are eligible for 8. To order, you can sign up on the website with your name, email, and home address. The tests provided by the Food and Drug Administration will be shipped in 7 to 12 days through the U.S. Postal Service. WSGW News Time 9:07.
What makes a great selection in Michigan? That's right. It's time for Spicer's huge boat show and sale, and we have the best inventory in Michigan. Over 300 Mercury-powered boats in stock from 15 different manufacturers. You heard right, over 300. There's no inventory shortage here at Spicer's. Come see the newest Mercury-powered fishing boats, pontoons, and speedboats. Like this must-see Sylvan S3 dual console pontoon, loaded up with a huge 300 horsepower Mercury and every option you can. Or the brand new Four Winds H4 with incredible luxury styling. Huge boat show savings, extended warranties, free gear, and more. The largest selection of boats in Michigan at Spicer's huge boat show and sale going on now at Michigan's Destination Fund. Spicer's Boat City, N55 and Houghton Lake.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast. Opening statements are set to begin in the trial of 4 men who prosecutors say plan to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The prosecutors have said the men were angry about pandemic restrictions the governor imposed. They're expected today to lay out a case that includes secret recordings of the men discussing the plan. Defense attorneys say the men deny any conspiracy to kidnap the governor. They have signaled an entrapment defense, criticizing the government's use of undercover FBI agents and confidential informants. 11 women and 7 men were selected Tuesday to serve as jurors, with 12 who will decide the case and 6 alternates. The court did not make clear which jurors are. Federal court in Grand Rapids could last more than a month. Gas prices in Michigan continue to go up. AAA spokesperson Adrian Woodland was asked if Michigan could break the historic high of $4.26 a gallon set back in 2011.
Michigan, we had less than 10 cents to go, but we're still not quite there yet.
Woodland says there are things that drivers can do to save fuel, including consolidating trips, slowing down, and getting your vehicle the proper maintenance. Federal officials have issued guidance. The country's largest ever investment in water infrastructure doesn't bypass disadvantaged communities. The memo from the EPA applies to $43 billion from the infrastructure bill for making drinking water cleaner, improving sewage treatment, and replacing lead pipes. The memo spells out how much disadvantaged communities should get. For example, it says nearly half of the $15 billion should go to those communities. Some Republican governors say the Biden administration should not impose its policy agenda on states through the infrastructure funding. WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. For today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a high of 42 degrees. As we go into tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies and a low down at 21. As we look to Thursday, we'll see mostly cloudy skies and a high of 35. Thursday night, isolated snow showers with cloudy skies and a low at 24 degrees. Do continue with cloudy skies and a high of 34. Looking to the weekend, we'll see mostly sunny skies on Saturday with a high of 27. And as we go into Sunday, we will see a warm up with mostly cloudy skies and a high around 40 degrees. I'm staff meteorologist Amanda Edwards with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently 31.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. It's the Wednesday edition of the Art Lewis Show from my home studio, my Saginaw Spirit home studio. Glad to have you with us today. Program brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call, 989-295-7713. Linda Shepard, Pinnacle, located at the Point, M46 and M47 in Saginaw Township, where you will also find Cafe 476 and its delicious soups and foods and beverages waiting for you. All right, here's what's happening this morning. First hour, this hour, will be open phones, whatever's on your mind. We'll give you the numbers here in a minute. And second hour, we're going to begin by talking to Kevin Szawala. He's also known as Mr. Peace. He is a youth motivational speaker from Detroit, and he's going to be in Bay City next week talking to several groups. We'll tell you more about that at 10 o'clock. And on Focus today, we focus on the McLaren Bay region. That is what is ahead this morning. But as I mentioned, for now, to begin with, it is open phones. I want to bypass starting talking about what's in the news, Russia, Ukraine, and all of that, because even though it's worlds away, it does impact us. Gas prices and all of that good stuff. However, I actually want to talk about something else first this morning. And that's something that Senator Gary Peters has proposed and now got it passed through the Senate. And that is reform to Postal Service's financings. The Senate on Tuesday evening overwhelmingly approved Peters' Postal Service reform. And how often can you say overwhelmingly? I'm looking for the vote here and I don't see it. I want to see what the vote was. See what they consider overwhelmingly. Sometimes you just don't know. Well, it doesn't say. But anyway, it will get rid of requirements that the Postal Service pre-fund health benefits for its employees, something that has been suggested for decades, put them at an unfair advantage. And the House has a companion piece which passed last month. So, here's the vote. Oh, well, it was overwhelming. 79-19. We'll send it now to President Joe Biden for his signature into law. And it kind of restructures the postal finance system, put them on a stronger footing. And if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't say so in this piece, which was a Detroit Free Press article. But if I'm not mistaken, it also requires the Postal Service to continue service as they have in the past, including Saturday service. So the big piece of the puzzle here for the postal system is the non-pre-funding of employee health. That takes billions of dollars off their budget. So let's hope that this goes a long way to getting the postal system on solid footing, because it is one of the services in this country that most Americans support. Yeah, I know. Everybody's got those stories of a piece of mail that got lost for 3 months. All right, I understand that. But when you look at it overall, the post office handles billions of pieces of mail every day and gets 99.9999999% of it where it's supposed to be, when it's supposed to be there. It is not an easy job. I do wish in the past that they stopped penny anting us, raise the price of a stamp. Buy a penny, buy 2 pennies. Why don't you find a price that works and set it there? If 55 didn't work, don't make it 57. Go to 60 and be done with it. That's always bugged me about how they dealt with pricing in the postal system. But I'm glad this legislation passed. I hope the president signs it. It's nice to see a bipartisan support in both the House and the Senate for something, which I think demonstrates the importance of the postal system to the American public. Even our legislators, who sometimes have closed ears and blind eyes, realize the importance of the postal system. And hats off to Gary Peters for proposing it. And let's hope it goes forth successfully with the president's signature, and we won't have any more interruptions to the flow of postal, any suggestions we stop serving at certain times. I just think it's good to get back to the old ways of the postal system. Okay, I just thought I wanted to start with that, just because I wanted to start with something other than Russia, Ukraine. But can't avoid Russia, Ukraine, of course. I'll keep bringing it up, but I'm not going to talk about it yet. Because there is an enormous amount of sports news on the table this morning. Let us start with this one. Tiger Woods to be honored and immortalized with World Golf Hall of Fame induction. And the reason is the brilliance of Tiger Woods and, of course, his golfing. But he has brought a lot of people to the sport. People who thought golf wasn't cool, and then Tiger Woods showed up on the scene. And it is still true today that if on television a golf tournament has Tiger Woods as a participant, ratings soar through the roof. It is still true today. And I was blown away recently in the father-son tournament that he participated in with his son, who, by the way, is a mini Tiger Woods. Unbelievable to watch this kid swing a golf club. Tiger Woods, after that tragic car accident, many said he wouldn't even walk again, leave alone play golf. There he was, swinging a golf club and hitting the ball fairly well. Blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. So, congratulations to Tiger Woods, who will be inducted into the World of Golf Hall of Fame. And he's been good for golf. Yeah, he's had his problems, but he's human. I still love watching him play. I watch sometimes on the Golf Channel, they will have some of his old victories from various tournaments. And I will watch him play. Chris in Midland Township before I have to take a break here. Chris, good morning.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to compliment Gary Peters and et al. For moving that legislation forward.
Amen.
And hopefully it benefits the Postal Service. I think back several years ago, he's a postal employee, and I watched with interest some hearings where Darrell Issa was the chair of the Oversight Committee. That part of his jurisdiction was the Postal Service. And he and John McCain voted against any amendments to bills that were in process that would have benefited the issue that Gary Peters addressed, that the prepayment of benefits.
Yep.
That, nobody else does, or nobody else is forced to anyway. Let me rephrase.
Yep.
My hat's off.
Yep.
And hopefully that does good things for the Postal Service.
I hope you're right. It is a long-standing issue, and it looks like maybe it finally got solved.
All right, thanks.
All right, Chris, thanks for calling. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. Scott, hang on. We'll get to you right after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
With spring just around the corner, it's time to finish up those last few home projects we've been putting off. Hi, this is Sonia with Westside Decorating. Our new Fresh Coat Paint and Primer in One is scrubbable, makes any paint job go faster in less coats, and looks better than conventional latex paints. We've got new floors from Shaw, Tarkett, and Lakeshore. We offer up to 12 financing. Visit our showroom at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township or call Westside Decorating Center 989-793-6182.
When state bureaucrats threaten doctors over their COVID treatments, Representative Annette Glenn backed the bureaucrats down. Dr. John Fenninger said Annette Glenn's actions, quote, may have saved many lives. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we only need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income plans and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Crude oil prices have backed off recent highs, and sentiment appears to have improved for stock market investors after Tuesday's volatility that followed the U.S. banning imports of Russian oil. The Russian stock markets are still closed, but the ruble is trading in Moscow. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are gaining with optimism about the Biden administration's policy on cryptocurrency. Stitch Fix shares are slumping. The online clothing retailer lowered its financial forecast. French bank BNP Paribas says it has limited exposure to Russia and Ukraine. Its shares are chain Children's Place saw sales improve in the holiday quarter, and it says its transformation to an online business will help it to exceed pre-pandemic earnings. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
When it matters, companies need more than just a delivery service. Cintas delivers full service and the reliability that comes with having a dedicated Cintas service rep who understands your business, which means they deliver confidence and peace of mind too. For uniforms, cleaning essentials, mats, first aid and safety supplies, and fire protection services, discover the personal attention you get with Cintas.
Oh, I'm ready.
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show. So now it's a Putin gas spike. Well, it is an exercise in branding.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Back to our phones. Scott is in Saginaw. Scott, good morning. Scott, you there? Hello, Scott. Anybody seen Scott? Guys, anybody? Hello. There you are.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Oh, it's a stupid phone. Or maybe it was me pushing the button. Anyway, I wanted to comment real quick on the president's speech yesterday. He said, why doesn't somebody ask the oil companies why they're not permits? Well, the oil company responded, and they said, well, first off, because they're permits. Second off, 0 of those 9,000 permits have actually been explored. So they don't know if any of them are viable or not.
Right.
So they have to raise capital, get a crew, get out there and find a well, and then start drilling.
Only take a couple of years.
Do that? Exactly. But who's going to do it when Biden ended his speech with, if you don't like the gas prices, go green? And he wasn't talking about Michigan State football.
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's so I just wanted to put that out there because so the people understand he's making the straw man Russia. It's not Russia. All Biden has to do is tell our companies here, just turn up production. We don't have to open new wells. Turn up production that he turned down.
It would help. It would help. It's
it
okay, and you're smart enough to know. You're smart enough to know, Scott. It's a combination. Yeah, it's domestic policy which has caused a lot of this because prices were going up before Russia ever invaded. But at the same time, Putin, the Russia-Ukraine conflict has caused world market prices to rise. No two ways about that. So it's a combination of things, but we certainly could mitigate our pain at the pump here if we produced more of our own. No two ways about that either.
Right. I wasn't calling to try to solve world problems, but I was just trying to show that what the president was saying was an absolute false flag. It has nothing to do with our oil companies. It's with restrictions that are going on from this administration.
Yep.
It's not them.
All right.
So I just want people to know that so everybody who's going to the pump, whether you voted for Biden or Trump, it's Biden's fault. Bye.
All right, Scott. So long.
Bye.
Well, it is. Those in government policies have impact. But it was also true that long before Putin invaded the Ukraine, prices at the pump were going up. And a lot of that had to do with domestic policy. Now, now we're talking to Venezuela. And by the way, apparently in those discussions with Venezuela, some good came of it. Because apparently Venezuela has freed 2 detained Americans. These were jailed Americans, including an oil executive, imprisoned for more than 4 years, because apparently Venezuela is seeking to improve relations with the Biden administration, according to the White House. So we knew there was going to be a visit to Venezuela. Now it'll be interesting to see if there's any oil coming our way, huh? So from not accepting the president of Venezuela, Maduro, to now dealing with them, who knows? Maybe Venezuela's seen the light. I doubt it, but but you just don't know. Errol on the phone. Errol, good morning. Errol? Hello?
Facts
there you are.
Okay, so everyone does.
Start again because they didn't have you potted up. So go ahead, start again.
They didn't like me this morning. I got some fun facts for everyone in case you missed it. We get 1.3 billion Canada. Okay. Yesterday, Alberta Prime Minister said we got all kinds of room in our pipeline. All you got to do is ask us to increase the amount we're pumping out of the ground. We can more than cover whatever you want to get rid of that's coming in from Russia. So I don't know why we're getting all bent out of shape. Canada's offered to increase the output into the U.S. 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But we're getting all bent out of shape because, we got to cut out the Russian oil. Give me a break. We get more oil from Canada than we do overseas, period. And we have for years and years and years. Now, anyone that doubts me, take a walk on the internet and look up how much oil that we buy from Canada every year.
Yep, it's a bunch.
It's a lot closer.
Yeah.
And we only need one pipeline to run across to supply us all.
Yep, gotcha.
I feel better.
Oh, by the way, Whitmer wants to close that pipeline. Oh, wait, that's a whole nother subject.
No, but I don't know what Biden's problem is, except that, among other things, he doesn't think we should be eating beef because cattle.
Yes, we understand. Flatulence.
And it ruins the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where he's going. He needs to go have a bowl.
Well,
of
he's not the
grass
only one.
or
I mean,
something.
that's been
Well, yeah, we got a bunch of them don't want us to eat cattle anymore too. And if God wanted me to eat vegetables, he'd have made. No, that's how much I like vegetables, sir.
All
Have a
right.
nice day.
Good enough, Earl. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Let's
Bye.
talk to Mark, who says he's in Harrison now. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Good.
There's been reports out there that Russia supplies the 10%. Can we agree on it's 10% is what all the news sources say?
That's what they say. Yeah. I have no idea
Okay.
exactly what the number is. I've heard 3%. I've heard 10%,
Well, we'll go with 10%. That's a round number. Under the previous administration, gas was, we'll say, $2.16 to $2.20 average. It's more like it was less than that. if
Yeah,
I
it was
recollect.
sometimes it was around $1.99 times,
Yeah. So how does 10% get you double the amount of the regular gas a year ago? Losing 10%.
It has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with that. Oil is a world commodity, and it has a world commodity price, and that governs eventually the price you pay at the pump. So when oil was at $40 a barrel and you were paying $2 a gallon, and now oil is at $125, $130 a barrel, and you're paying $4 at the pump or more, it's a world commodity, and we end up paying the commodity price.
Do you think gas stations are going to come up with a loan program that you can sign up for to purchase gas?
They already have that. Credit cards.
Hey, the other day, Biden gave a speech on Ukraine talking about NATO and how the alliance are sticking together and is going to defend every square inch of Ukraine. How come he doesn't have that passion on the United States border?
I know. I've heard that question time and time again, and I don't have an answer for it, but it's an obvious contradiction. So Actually, why isn't NATO on our southern border defending it for us? Because we defend NATO. If they get attacked, why aren't they here helping us? Figure that one out.
Good point. That's a very good point.
All right. Take care. I just thought I'd bring it up, just for the fun of it. All right. Take care. We're going to take a break, and then we'll get to Corky in Atlanta when we return here on the Art Lewis Show. And I want to talk to you for a moment about my friends at the Thalen Auto Group, where used cars and pre-owned vehicles reign supreme. And I mean hundreds of them, more of them than you'll find almost anywhere else in the region, because there are all the dealerships side by side on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. And, every time they sell a new car, they take in a pre-owned vehicle and trade most of the time. And they also scour the market for additional used cars that meet their standards. Then they inspect them, bring them up to standards, and put them out on the lot. Hundreds of vehicles to choose from right there on Euclid Avenue in Bay City. And they also have certified pre-owned vehicles from Audi, Volkswagen, Subaru, Mazda, Honda, Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Don't spend days going from dealership to find a good selection. Stop at the Thalen Auto Group on Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Spend the afternoon shopping hundreds of vehicles. And check out their inventory online, too, at thinkthalen.com. And remember, they've been serving your automotive needs at Thalen for over 45 years. We will be back.
Members First Credit Union is here to help you consolidate debt and get rid of your financial stress. Save money by refinancing high-interest loans or credit cards you have elsewhere with Members First. Pay them off with funds from a Members First Credit. Turn multiple due dates and payments into just one personal loan by consolidating your debt. Stop by one of the 11 Members First Credit Union branches or visit mfcu.net for details. Some restrictions may apply. Loan subject to credit approval. Federally insured by the NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
The HBA of Saginaw Home and Garden Show is back, sponsored by Builders First Source and partnered with the Saginaw Valley Nursery and Landscape Association. Our exhibitors help make your renovation, your new build, or your landscape project a breeze. There are raffles, prize giveaways, a scavenger hunt, student showcase, grab lunch at Cafe Corner, visit the open job board in the career booth, and enjoy educational seminars on Saturday, March 19th from 9 till 7 and March 20th from 11 till 5 at the SVSU Rider Center. Visit SaginawHomeshow.com for more information.
This is your time for a good time. Now go live your life to the funnest. Leave boring behind and come to the place made for nonstop action and excitement. Saguenay Eagles Landing, where winning big at all your bites and comfy nights all come together. The possibilities are endless, and so is the fun. It's all here waiting just for you. So come on, Michigan, let your fun out. Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with a booming voice that emphasizes all the main points. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
That part is super important.
Here's one with a booming voice.
I'm emphasizing everything.
Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance.
Like a page with every word highlighted.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Liberty, 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 liberty.
Service Master by Fusen, your fire, water, and storm damage restoration experts. Did you know mold can spread quickly and cause far more damage to your home than you think? Our professionals have the advanced tools and understanding to assess your home, diagnose problems, and take immediate action to protect your property. Regardless of what caused your mold infestation, our mold remediation experts have a solution and eliminate the problem. Visit ServiceMasterByFusen.com or call them at 989-200-4929. Service Master by Fusen, restoring peace of mind.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we...
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
find a hidden gem, or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
All right, we're back here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show for this Wednesday morning, and Corky is in Atlanta. Corky, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Just a quick comment to show, I believe, how people are supporting, well, in the military and in the administration, this war that's going on between Putin and Zelensky. And because Zelensky offered on a Monday evening show on ABC to talk to Putin about him, Zelensky, not pushing the joining of NATO. He said, quote, he's cooled down on that idea. And he also, on the next day, said he would also be willing to talk about the control of the Russian-backed separatists. We talk about changing that. But, you know, where have you heard that? Have you heard anything on any stations other than maybe if someone caught those interviews? Or I checked the New York Times and Washington Post and didn't see anything in there. I don't have a television, but it just, to me, shows that this is an opportunity for Biden and the U.S. to jump in and support Zelensky and get this, you know, get him to meet with Putin like he wants to talk about these problems.
Yeah, here's the issue.
Pardon?
Here's the issue.
That's the issue.
No, here is the issue.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Putin declined to talk to him. So how do you do that if you only have one side?
Yeah, you can't. I didn't read that. I didn't read that far, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Now,
that's too bad because that was a good chance.
It doesn't mean it won't happen.
Yeah.
But at this moment, anyway, it didn't happen.
Well.
And you know, I understand. I understand Zelensky's spot. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. But I'll tell you what, he has become a hero in the world for standing up and fighting for his country like he is. You may not always agree with everything he says or the way he does things, but he has become a hero. No two ways about it. I think it's absolutely true that when all this is said and done, he will come out, assuming he survives it, he will come out far ahead in the eyes of his people.
Well, I just hope it doesn't go to the no-fly zones because that's just too scary. I mean, scarier than what it is.
Well,
right
it just
now.
depends how it's done. You know, you could have a no-fly zone where the Ukrainian pilots are responsible for it. And you could have a no-fly zone where NATO goes in. That would be scary because that's World War III.
Yeah, but pilots in the no-fly zone, how Russia takes it, you know, that's going to be a problem too.
Well, Russia hasn't taken anything very well, so what's the difference?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, what's the difference? What are they going to do?
I know. Okay. Well, good luck to everybody, right?
You got it. Corky,
Thank you.
thanks for calling.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. And Mike is in Shields. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. First of all, do you remember back a long time ago when the post office used to be the only system in the United States government that made a profit, and all the Congress people would raid the coffers?
No, I don't remember the post office making a profit, but if you say so, okay.
No, well, this is it's for real. No, it
Got to
really
go
was.
way
They
back.
said it was kind of a joke. Oh yeah, I'm talking about back maybe in the '60s, something like that.
Okay.
Maybe early '70s. But anyway,
Well, listen, they raid the coffers of anything that makes money.
What that's
And
right.
they even raid the coffers of those things that don't make money.
Well, yeah, that's right. Going back to kind of the no-fly zone, but the deal that Poland had offered to furnish airplanes to Ukraine,
right?
And Lincoln, we're going to do it, blah, blah, and we're going to give our airplanes to Poland, to replenish them, because the Ukrainians would like to have the Russian jets from Poland better than if we
They know how to fly them.
They know how to fly them exactly, and but that got nixed by Biden. yesterday, I believe. It might have been the day before yesterday, where he decided that, no, we're not going to participate in that. So, but he's getting paid by the Ukraine. He did. I mean, I don't know if he's getting paid now. So I don't know where his major allegiance goes to, because he made a lot of money from the oligarchs from Russia and the Russian government. Haydn, his son did, and then also the Ukraine, when he had that deal where if you don't get rid of that prosecutor that's trying to prosecute my son, you're not getting $50 million, something like that. And they pulled it in because that he recorded on the radio. Oh, boy, I fixed those people. He's laughing and joking about it.
Yeah, all right.
So
it's old history.
Yeah, I know, but I wish that we would have got those airplanes to him, because then that would help him out immensely.
Yep.
So,
all right.
It ain't gonna happen.
Good enough, Mike. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Yeah,
Bye-bye now. All right, lines open for you. 989-752-6111 is the number to call, wherever you are. Love to chat with you today about whatever's on your mind.
Saginaw County Community Mental Health Authority and master's level mental health professionals and therapists, and we want to build on a racially and culturally diverse team. If you're passionate about client care and committed to clinical excellence, check out our jobs at sccmha.org and click on employment. We offer great benefits and signing bonuses, and a belief in potential, a right to dream, and an opportunity to achieve.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you've ever ordered food for work, you understand. It's different. There's just so much more at stake. Whether it's a meeting, a client call, or lunch with the office that has to arrive at the actual lunchtime, food for work has to work. That's why there's EasyCater. Food that's on time and as ordered from over 82,000 restaurants. And if there's a problem, rare, you can reach someone in seconds.
Thank you for calling EasyCater.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but EasyCater just does. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com for the has sold out. But you can still check out the Freeland Sports Zone and see all the things they have to offer, like their gymnasium, their fitness floor, their tennis courts, and so much more. And make sure you keep checking back at RocketGrabPlus.com. Each week we have brand new deals, and we even have monthly deals. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist. With Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
The WSGW online poll, the high gas prices. In the aftermath of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the average price for a gallon of gas has now topped $4 for the first time in over a decade. Gas Buddy predicting that the average price per gallon is going to remain that way. Mixed reports about responses people are having at this time. Some are concerned and making adjustments to driving patterns already. More are taking kind of a wait-and-see approach. Others believe that they're fortunate enough that gas prices aren't going to be a problem for them, no matter how high it might be. So the poll question is how gas prices are going to affect you. Are you already making adjustments to try and save gas? Are you okay right now, but eventually you believe you're going to have to make some changes? Or are you fortunate that no matter what the price, you're not going to be affected by the price of gas? We want to know what you think from your personal experience. Head to WSGW.com. You scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, click, and you can make your vote that way.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Tune in for Michigan Wolverines basketball. It's Big Ten tournament time as the Wolverines take on the Indiana Hoosiers in the second round. Coverage begins Thursday morning at 11 on 790 News Radio WSGW. Go Blue.
All right, as we return here on the Art Lewis Show, we head up to Willard where we find Joe this morning. Joe, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, Art.
Good morning.
Yeah, you talked to your last caller, and he commented about Biden and his son in their dirty deals with Ukraine and Russia and China, and you said, "Well, that's old news." Well, it shouldn't be old news. The FBI should have taken those people and had them prosecuted, but it's old news because they're politicians. Now, I hear on the news yesterday that one of the guys that he wasn't even at that rally at the White House during the so-called riot or whatever you want to call it. And
well, what would you call it?
He was a leader. Anyways, let me get to my point here. Was arrested. He was not even there. He was arrested for defacing a Black Lives Matter banner. What did Black Lives Matter do? Burn buildings, burn police stations, but that's no big deal. And they want people to have respect for law enforcement and the FBI. Every time I hear the word FBI, I want to throw up.
Why is that?
They're crooked. They're so because they're crooked.
Who's they? Who's they? Because are you talking about the few on top, or are you talking about the tens of thousands of members who do their job every day to protect you?
Well, let me put it like this, Art. If you take a crap on top of a pile of people that are good, they all stink.
All right.
Okay.
If you put it that way, yeah. Okay, I understand that.
Really,
I understand that.
Seriously. But
yeah. Well, I don't agree, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. But here's another one. I'd like to know, how do you feel about, and I feel the same way. I'm being a little bit facetious here about how do you feel about the KKK?
No use for
them. Me either. What do you think about any racist or organization?
Don't have any use for. I don't have any use for any racist organization, as you put it.
Okay, then.
Now you have to define. Now you have to define race. I know where you're going. But you have to define racist.
Tell me where I'm going.
You're going to point out other organizations that you don't like that you think are racist.
The Congressional Black Caucus. Okay.
I'm listening.
Do they welcome white people into that?
No, listen here. You and I are going to agree on something here, Joe. Here's what I tell you about these things. I've told this to my many associates and friends who are of color that I know and respect. At a time when we are trying to unify, there are more and more separating going on, and it's being done by them. It's should there be a congressional black caucus? Well, we don't have a congressional white caucus, so yeah, there probably shouldn't be. And there are many other things that you can point to that separate rather than unify. However,
yes.
Having said that, I can't put myself in their shoes. I didn't grow up that way. I don't know what it feels like to be a black person in America. I'm not. So I can't possibly understand it. I can't possibly understand it. So from that standpoint, maybe I'm a little more tolerant. Maybe it's the way I grew up in New York City, where you had to get along with everybody. And that's the world I lived in, and that's the world I appreciate today. I don't judge people. I don't judge people by their religion, by their race or color. I judge them by who they are and by their character. Do I like them?
Let me tell you this. Art. I grew up out in the country on a farm, and I don't consider myself a racist person. I went in the military, the Navy, and I was on one ship, and I transferred onto another one to come back home from overseas. And the black people on that ship, I'm telling you, Art, they would have whatsoever.
They what?
And
I missed it.
They would not have. They wouldn't have anything to do with the white people.
Oh, okay.
And
well, that's their problem.
Here's the thing.
All right, I'm gonna have to interrupt Joe because I'm getting out of time. Got 10 seconds.
I understand that, but I had good friends on that ship that were white and black.
There you go. All right.
And I would trust my back with them a lot more than a lot of the white people.
All right. Thanks for calling, Joe. I appreciate it. I got to run. We're out of time, and we will be back to close out.
Wills and trusts, wealth management, asset protection.
Does this sound important to you?
Succession planning for the family business, elder law, probate.
Better things to do with our lives. But when the time comes, personal or for a business, all of us will be glad we took just a few minutes to get our lives in order.
Reduce or eliminate estate, income, and gift taxes. Avoid probate costs and prevent will contests. Plan for the event of disability.
Who should you see? Who can you trust? Who has decades of experience in providing peace of mind for families and business owners?
My name is Jerry Wright. See me today and get your life in order.
Get some peace of mind. Go to jerryrifelawyer.com. While you are there, subscribe to his free monthly e-newsletter and learn about elder law and estate planning. You can download helpful resources. Remember the website, jerryrifelawyer.com, or call Jerry Rife at 989-790-1461.
I provide legal solutions for a changing world.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com for the Freeland Sports Zone has sold out. But you can still check out the things they have to offer, like their gymnasium, their fitness floor, their tennis courts, and so much more. And make sure you keep checking back at RocketGrabPlus.com. Each week we have brand new deals, and we even have monthly deals. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person counts.
Better not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast. Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
Talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptoms EPI.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
All right, that'll do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Coming up next hour, we're going to talk to Kevin Szawala. He's also known as Mr. Peace. He is a youth motivational speaker. He's going to be in Bay City on the 15th, talking to a number of assemblies. And we're going to find out what he's all about next hour. But before that, CBS News coming up at the top of the hour. then the local report. After that, we'll be back with the second hour of the Art Lewis Show.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The Kyiv Classic Symphony Orchestra playing defiantly in Maidan Square in a concert broadcast live on Ukrainian TV. Kyiv's regional governor says his people would die before letting Russian forces seize the city. Today, the Kremlin agreed ceasefire in some areas, allowing safe passage for Ukrainians trying to leave the country. Correspondent Charlie Daggett from the capital.
The ceasefire around Kyiv reflects where Russian forces have advanced to the outskirts of the capital. A police officer bids farewell to his son, part of the reinforcements brought in as Russian forces advance. The toddler cries uncontrollably, refusing to accept what his father has to say.
Lawmakers in Mariupol have just announced Russian airstrikes have destroyed the city's children's hospital. They call the damage colossal. The Pentagon has rejected a plan by Poland to give you fighter jets. Correspondent Christina Ruffini is in Rzeszów.
This announcement from Poland took American officials by surprise, mostly because it's not the arrangement they had been discussing. Now, the original plan was for Poland to give its MiG fighter jets to Ukraine. The U.S. would then backfill those MiGs and give used F-16s to Poland.
Vice President Kamala Harris is headed to Poland right now to discuss the issue. Ukraine announced today it is ending all exports of rye, barley, sugar, salt, and meat for the foreseeable future. CBS's Vicki Barker is at the foreign desk.
The Russia-Ukraine region supplies 80% of the world's sunflower oil, 30% of its wheat, 20%. Now those exports have all but stopped.
This will impact every consumer on planet Earth.
The World Food Programme's David Beasley says the number of people at immediate risk of starvation had already more than doubled during the pandemic to 276 million. The war in Ukraine will only raise that number.
Gas prices in the U.S. up to $4.25 for a gallon of regular. That's 59 cents higher than a week ago. It hurts for this driver in San Dimas, California.
$85 just for this time. And I'm just going to use this for what, 3 to 4 days?
Opening statements have begun in Grand Rapids in the trial of 4 men charged with plotting. This morning, the prosecutor told the jury the accused planned to hogtie Gretchen Whitmer in 2020. CBS's Jennifer Kuiper.
It's a tornado watch.
2 men who have already pleaded guilty will testify for the government. Prosecutors have said they will present secret recordings and other evidence against the men. Defense attorneys have signaled they'll argue entrapment by the FBI.
The Dow is up 523 points. This is CBS News.
If cold winter calls have turned into warm spring leads, you need Indeed, the all-in-one platform to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
How is your child doing in school this year? Do you feel they are not performing as well as they could? Did you know that this could be due to visual? Kids and Eye Care, they help you determine if your child's vision is not performing as well as it could. They don't just give your child glasses. They evaluate the entire visual and ocular system to detect, treat, and prevent visual disorders and ocular diseases. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kazmarek, or Dr. Engel, call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do. And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Live from the 190 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 34 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Bauer. The Bay Valley Hotel and Conference Center has on very short notice closed its doors, according to a Facebook post. The statement says at this time there are certain renovations that the building requires to be done to maintain our normal day-to-day business. We understand this is hard for many, especially those with upcoming events. Some will be in contact with you in the next couple of days. They said, we know this is extremely inconvenient and want to do everything we can to help with this situation. The post goes on to say, please know this was not an easy decision to make, and it's a very hard time for us as well. On a good note, the golf course will be open and operating this season and plans to operate as normal for the 2022 golf season. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel will announce the first criminal charges from the state's Boy Scouts investigation this morning. The Boy Scouts have bankruptcy and thousands of lawsuits over decades of sexual abuse across the country. Nessel had asked victims to come forward last year, and more than 3,000 victims have come forward in Michigan. Bay County commissioners spoke yesterday with Auburn City Administrator David Haig about repairs to the city's sewer pump system ahead of this spring's wet weather. Haig presented issues needing repair or updating to commissioners, including storm leakage into the sewage system, close proximity of the pump to a nearby roadway, and a lack of electricity at a backup pump at a detention pond used for overflow when the county system is dealing with excess amounts of stormwater. Commissioner Vaughn Begic, who in part represents Auburn, agreed with Haig that the repairs need to be done and done soon, but sided with Commissioner Kim Coonan from Bay City that the work isn't pandemic related, so it doesn't necessarily need to be funded by American Rescue Plan Act money.
What happens is the sanitary sewer leaks into the store. A lot of water going through the system, and then that backs up, as he said, the flow from Auburn out to Bay City. It's a stretch, I'd say. I mean, water in your basement is not a good thing, but I'm not sure it's related to the pandemic. This was a problem before the pandemic came on.
Haig says the total estimate to get repairs done stands around $770,000. The city of Auburn received around $250,000 in American Rescue Plan Act funds, which, according to data shared by Haig, wouldn't even cover engineering costs. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Choose the proven performance of the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, featuring high-yielding Extend Flex soybeans and the exceptional weed control of XtendiMax herbicide with vapor genetics, triple herbicide tolerance, flexibility that delivers results, backed by 25 years of innovation. That's the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, the system of choice. XtendiMax is a restricted use pesticide. Always follow stewardship practices, all pesticide label directions, and check with your state pesticide regulatory agency for specific restrictions in your state. When you choose the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, you're choosing exceptional weed control. It controls more weeds than any other soybean system and offers up to 14 days of soil activity on certain small-seeded broadleaf weeds. Plus, you get triple tolerance to dicamba, glyphosate, and glufosinate when used with Extend Flex soybeans. The Roundup Ready Extend crop.
Hey, how's it going?
Whoops, hang on a minute. Go ahead. Say it again.
Hey, can you
Good
hear
morning.
me?
Yeah, how do you pronounce your last name?
Szawala. So the
I
S
had it
is
right.
silent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Or
All
Mr.
right.
Peace.
Yeah, we'll be with you in about 3 or 4 minutes, so hang on. I turn
All
the
right.
videos off when we're not on.
Sure thing. Sounds great.
All right.
An officer's memorial monument is preserved. The Michigan Senate has approved a plan to preserve and update the officers' memorial monument, which is near the state capitol. State Representative Timothy Beeson from Bay County, who sponsored the plan, says the monument helps us remember many men and women who have given their lives while serving Michigan communities as police officers. The plan now moves to Governor Whitmer. Data shows that a feared exodus of teachers during the coronavirus pandemic has not yet come to pass, although concerning signs about the health of the profession remain. Teacher resignation rates actually dipped after COVID first hit schools, and as this school year approached, generally returned to pre-pandemic levels. The federal government does not keep annual records, and neither do some states, but figures from 5 states and 19 large U.S. school districts show that turnover going into this school year was comparable to rates before the pandemic. Elsewhere, turnover was a bit higher, but still near pre-pandemic. Debate is growing in Lansing over the future of curriculum transparency. MNN's Jason Scott reports.
It's a bill that's pending in committee. It would require Michigan's public school systems to make district-approved curriculum available to parents by the first day of class each year. State Representative Phil Green is a Republican in the Thumb region.
We discovered a loophole, maybe in the law, that the school districts approve a curriculum already. They approve the curriculum. And so what we realized is that maybe the approval and what was approved is not in a convenient place.
If the bill were to become law, a district that failed to comply would lose 5% of its state funding. Some critics say this would make a teacher's job more difficult, while potentially putting them in situations where they can put school funding at risk.
Boaters' thoughts are turning to spring and getting out onto the lake, and a church is getting ready. Mariners Church in Detroit on Saturday will hold its annual Blessing of the Fleet. Boaters, yacht club groups, and commercial seamen are welcome to bring their flags.
It's at the end of the service itself that we have that sort of climactic moment where everyone presents their flags. We place them on the altar and pray a prayer of blessing.
Hubbard expects hundreds of boaters to take part in person and by tuning in to the live stream on the Mariner Church's YouTube channel. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 10:11. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. For today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a high of 42 degrees. As we go into tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies and a low down at 21. As we look to Thursday, we'll see mostly cloudy skies and a high of 35. Thursday night, isolated snow showers with cloudy skies and a low at 24 degrees. Friday, snow showers do high at 34. Looking to the weekend, we'll see mostly sunny skies on Saturday with a high of 27. And as we go into Sunday, we will see a warm up with mostly cloudy skies and a high around 40 degrees. I'm staff meteorologist Amanda Edwards with the WSGW Weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 34.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2, the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW for this Wednesday morning from my Second Our Spirit Home studio, sponsored by Linda Shepherd at Pinnacle Realty for all of your residential and commercial real estate needs. Give Linda a call, 989-295-7713. Let her go to work for you. You can find her at Pinnacle Realty at the Point, M46 and M47 in Saginaw Township, where you'll also find Cafe 476 and its delicious soups, foods, and all kinds of wonderful beverages. At this time in our history, both world history and local history in the United States, things happening in schools, some good, some not so good, like Oxford, it calls for special messages. And our guest today delivers some of those special messages. He's known as Mr. Peace. We'll find out why as we say good morning to Kevin Szawala. Kevin, good morning.
How's it going there, Art? Good to see you.
Going well. Good to see you too. Yeah, you can see us on video, by the way, folks, if you want to watch our stream this morning. So I guess we need to start out with the Kevin story, the Mr. Peace story. What did you do before you got into this, and how did you become Mr. Peace?
Yeah, it's been a long journey. I went to the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, got my degree in economics, started doing celebrations of diversity on campus, basically an annual concert right on the heart of campus on the Diag. A lot of break dancers, poets, bands, just different multicultural groups coming together to meet one another, people from different backgrounds, different walks of life. And it was something that when I got to that university, coming from pretty much an all white community from high school, I just embraced it. And I grew so much because of people from different walks of faith and people from different skin colors and people from different countries and people with different languages. And it was just such a, melting pot of diversity that I wanted to say, hey, that's their staple. The University of Michigan's pride, that they have all these people from so many different areas of life, but how do we connect them? And so this annual celebration, it wasn't a cure-all, but it was just one way to bring people together every September. I did that for 10 years. And as a result
you
of
did it when you were out of Michigan.
Correct. Yep. I just
You
kept
were
it
on
going year after year. And Mr. Peace is kind of what came about as it. People started calling me Mr. Peaceful. When the local newspaper dropped the full, and it just became Mr. Peace. And then now that has translated that multicultural diversity work into schools, where I'm able to sometimes reach the same number of students in a day as I was once a year at this event.
And you
And
now
so
have
it's
a
just been heavy
company.
on the heart.
You have a company, Mr. Peace Incorporated.
Mr. Peace Incorporated, that's my nonprofit, 501c3. We're a private foundation, mainly for accepting donations in and out to help fund assemblies at schools with limited budgets or no budgets.
So you got degrees. What did you do before you became full-time in
Mr.
the
Peace.
in the inspirational field? Yeah.
Yeah, right. So the degree in economics was my undergrad from U of M. I went to Wayne State, got my MBA, Master in Business Administration, Entrepreneurial Management and Marketing, and started in the auto industry right out of college,
Oh, okay.
doing sales and marketing. Did that for about 5 years, but left that in 2010 to go after my greater passion, my greater calling, I feel, which was to try to work with youth, right? So I stepped into speaking and didn't, I wasn't as established as I am now. And so it was kind of like a pinball machine, meeting this person, just sharing my heart and speaking pro bono, taking vacation days to go talk. And then I ended up falling into youth ministry. Did that for about 6-7 years. And so now I left that again in 2018 to go full time again. But, the idea is that I'm able to offer assemblies both on the public school side and the private school side.
And indeed, Kevin is going to be in Bay City on the 15th with several sessions we're going to talk about. But, let's talk about the message. First of all, in order to deliver a message of any kind, you have to have a receptive audience.
Yeah.
Are the kids receptive when you go to an assembly, for example? I've seen images of you with glasses that flash and all kinds of things, but you use those to get their attention, I assume.
Yeah, I think as any student, any participant, whether they're a student or an adult, when you first walk into a gymnasium or auditorium or wherever I'm speaking, there's judgments. There's, okay, who's this guy coming to speak to me? What can he possibly offer me? But I open and close both of my, all of my presentations with hip hop. It's one of my talents. Some rap music, if you want to call it that, but positive rap music. And through that and spoken word poetry, that talent, I'm able to take the message deeper because I get their respect right away. It's a pin drop as soon as I start doing that. And now they are a little bit more engaged and say, okay, what does this guy have to tell me? I'm going to be more receptive to hear what he has to say. And I start just by talking about stories of people their age that have reached out to me over the years, some of them in pain, but that have chosen to turn that pain into greatness. And when they hear something that strikes a heart chord that maybe relates to their own home situation, I don't pretend to know what goes on behind closed doors, but if there's something that I shared, particular video or exercise or just whatever it was, that anecdote, then maybe it is going to plant something inside them to start to feel again, to start to say, hey, I haven't really fully experienced that emotion, or maybe I never experienced the emotions that I needed to really get past that phase of my life.
So if I asked you to describe the mission of Mr. Peace Incorporated, what would it be? What do you see your mission as?
It's to help at-risk youth. I specialize in bullying prevention, student mental health, diversity and inclusion, suicide awareness. So it's trying to bring hope to the hopeless. And as a result of the pandemic that you had mentioned as well, those feelings of helplessness and hopelessness have just skyrocketed, right? The mental health issues, especially among our young people, the pediatrician visits are, the sick visits are now getting outweighed by mental health related visits. That there's a lot of loneliness. There's a lot of feelings of, hey, I feel alone, like no one's there to support me. And we need people, whether it's my one person coming in that 45-minute session and saying, hey, I believe in you. I'm here for you. The adults in this room love you just like your own family. Reach out if you need to. That's what we're here to. I mean, that's what we're all here to do, is to try to have that type of connection.
It's interesting. The good news, bad news is more young people are coming out for mental health help.
Right.
But we still have that stigma. And there's still a lot of people that won't come forward with mental health problems because of it. We need to do something about that. And we're doing it. I think we're doing it in society more and more.
Yeah, I think it's becoming more of the norm. My speaking mentor, Jim Tooman, also from the state of Michigan, when you talked about suicide in the 80s, you weren't supposed to. you were just kind of supposed to just internalize that, keep it to yourself, sweep it under the rug. And now it's not taboo, but it's just something that people are discussing openly. You see a lot more athletes, right, in the news coming out about their feelings of depression and anxiety. All of us experience, some level of that at some point in our life. But for these students to know that they never have to go it alone is huge. I mean, the irony, right, Art, is that they have thousands of friends and followers on social media, but yet they can still feel so alone.
Well, we're going to talk about social media and just how social it isn't. We're talking to Ken Szawala, Mr. Peace. He's going to be in Bay City on the 15th. We'll tell you about his various appearances coming up, talk more about his topics, but we got to take a break, and we will be back after these notes.
Your time for a good time. Now go live your life to the funnest. Leave boring behind and come to the place made for nonstop action and excitement. Saginaw Eagles Landing, where winning big at all your favorite games, tasty bites, and comfy nights all come together. The possibilities are endless, and so is the fun. It's all here, waiting just for you. So come on, Michigan, let your fun out. Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
It's to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Inflation in Michigan and the Midwest, highest in the nation. Annette Glenn is running for state senate to fight for new jobs, energy independence, to cut fuel costs, cut taxes, and drug costs. Annette Glenn, fighting for us. Paid for by Annette Glenn for state.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher. Sentiment has improved after the volatility yesterday that followed the U.S. banning Russian oil. Philip Morris International is suspending all investment in Russia. It's also scaling back manufacturing in Russia, citing ongoing supply chain disruptions and the evolving regulatory environment. The company says we have watched with shock the war in Ukraine and condemn the violence in the strongest possible terms. Heineken says it will stop the production, advertising, and sale of the Heineken brand in Russia as a response to the escalation of the war in Ukraine. Campbell's Soup is reporting a weaker quarter. Its sales were down 3% from a year ago when more people were eating at home. That's your Fox Business. Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Wsgw Morning Team Show.
How did I miss that the members of Michigan's redistricting commission have voted themselves a pay raise?
Nice, healthy raise.
Their salaries when the commission was created was supposed to be nearly $40,000. They voted last year to give themselves a pay raise, and now this is going to take them roughly to nearly $60,000. Yeah, at a time where also they're not doing as much. And in fact, the only reason they are being done is because of the lawsuits being filed. The chair says, we're trying to be fiscally responsible and be good stewards of the public's money. By voting yourself, how tone deaf can you be?
How far are you going to get, Charlie, if you decide to vote yourself a pay raise?
They are going to be done until 20.
Yeah, someone has to draw the maps again.
I'm trying to find a silver lining here.
I appreciate that, because there always is. Let's see, this is 2022. Mark this down.
8 years.
8 years from now, get ready to be cheesed off again.
Get appointed, Charlie.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you talking to Kevin Szawala, who is Mr. Peace, motivational speaker, particularly when it comes to youth. You have a fan. I got an email from Richard who said he saw you last August at Domino Farms.
Oh, beautiful.
And
Nice.
was very impressed.
Nice.
So let's talk about your appearances on the 15th in Bay City. Where are you going to be and what are you going to be doing?
Yeah, sure thing. So I'm going to start the morning at McKenson Elementary, and I'm going to be speaking to grades K through 5 about bullying, looking at our heart first, treating people like you treat your own best friend. I'm going to follow that up by an afternoon meeting with grades 6 through 12 at a youth appreciation event. And this is going to be at the Doubletree by Hilton. This is put on by the Bay City New and Optimist Club. They're the ones that are bringing me in for the elementary as well. And then the night's going to cap off at the State Theater for a parent program for any parents with children grades pre-K through 12 and above at the State Theater, talking about cyberbullying and social media.
So how different are the messages that you provide to that fifth grader versus their parents?
Right. So if you can picture this, I have presentations at each grade and age level. So there's a K2 version, a 3-5, grades 6 to 8, grades 9 to 12. And then even heart heavier is going to be what I'm sharing with some of the adults. I'm usually going to be incorporating more visual aids. The content will be a little bit more juvenile, how I'm speaking as well to the kindergartners versus a high schooler. And the assembly time is going to be a little bit shorter too, right? With the attention spans. But even for adults, sometimes the attention spans can go too. So I try to make sure I have engaging multimedia throughout. So there's picture slides that reinforce the stories. There's the music that we already talked about. There's the inspirational videos. There's the tangible physical objects that they can see live. So that combined with my energy is what I try to bring to every talk that I do.
I saw some of that energy on the videos and I'm going, oh my God. I'm too old to keep up with that.
Just a lot of coffee.
Oh, is that what it is? All right. So this is a simplistic question that I guarantee does not have a simplistic answer. Social media, good or bad, when it comes particularly to youngsters?
We say everything in moderation, right, through all aspects of our life. And for social media, though, the interesting point about it is that, we have age restrictions on gambling, alcohol, smoking, things that give off dopamine. So does social media, and so do our cell phones, right? Our phones give the same thing off, and there's no age restriction on this, right? And so when you think about that, we're basically telling these youth that when you have a problem, right, at a young age, that you can find your self-worth, you can find your solution based on the number of friends, the number of likes, the number of followers, the number of comments on this device, versus going to talk to a real live human being. And when that gets hardwired in our brain, all of a sudden these youth are growing up, and that's why you see them hanging out, but they don't even know how to talk to their peers.
Yeah.
They'd rather be on their phone.
I hate to do this, but I do it all the time. I hate to go back to, well, when I was a kid, and I'm a lot older than you. I'm 79 years old, and I grew up in New York City, a whole different atmosphere. But back then, the word social meant you met your buddies and girlfriends, and you played stickball in the street. You did whatever you did, but you did it as a group, and you saw each other face to face. You learned how to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
The word social today has taken on an entirely different meaning. It's all done with thumbs. And my greatest fear, there's the fear of isolation and all that, but my greatest fear is that when these thumb users get into the real world, they're not going to know how to talk to the people they have to talk to, but they're only going to know how to use their thumbs.
Well, yeah, and you talk about face-to-face, that nowadays is FaceTime, right, on the phone.
Here we are,
Right, sure. And, there's great benefits to it, right? And we think about the pandemic and virtual learning. And I just saw a study from the Common Sense Education Organization that said they interviewed ages 8 to 18 and talking about being online and having these virtual connections, that for a lot of them, that helped them get through the heart of the pandemic. But now what the other question was that they answered is that they are craving in-person connection even more than they did before the pandemic, right? They want that physical heart-to-heart communication with each other. And that's a great sign, but now we have to go and we have to live that now.
Well, I kind of look at it, and then let me throw this out and get your reaction to it. I kind of look at it this way. I grew up with face-to-face social interaction. That's the way I grew up.
Right.
And when all the toys and bells and whistles came along, I craved going to those just to see how they work.
Right.
These kids today grow up with the bells and whistles. They know how they work.
Yeah.
They crave what I had.
Right.
It's sort of a reversal, isn't it?
Well, it's crazy to think, right? Anybody born after 2000, really, the mobile revolution had started then, social media in 2009. So many of these young people, that's all they've known. They've only known having a cell phone, right? They've only known, seeing people online for some of them, in kindergarten, first grade, and to now have them try to interact, it's new, but the comfort zone is a dangerous place to be. So the intention is that they're going to get past that and go into that feeling of discomfort, but hopefully that's going to help them grow in the long run with those relationships that, can really truly last forever, that life is about that. And I think for me, I haven't lost the intimacy factor when I've done the virtual assemblies, through Zoom.
You're there. Right.
So I mean, that for me has been great because I've seen the emotion still come through the screen, but I still prefer to be in person, right? Because when you see that student like eye to eye and you can kind of almost feel the heart in that moment, that's something that you can't replicate through a TV or through a phone.
It's interesting you say that. I've been working from home now for 2 years since the pandemic began, and no end in sight. Looks like I'm probably going to stay here for a while.
Yeah.
And what I miss as an interviewer and as a talk show host is that face-to-face interaction.
Sure.
Now that we have streaming where I can see you and you can see me, it has alleviated some of that, but it is still not the same as being in a room with a person.
Yeah.
And being able to gauge reaction and all of that. It's just not the same.
No, that heart vibe that you feel, right? It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And I think, for me, when I have to mute everybody on that call around me, when I'm presenting, I don't have that energy, because I feed off that energy. I feed off the kids going back and forth like this and clapping and, shouting, whatever it is. So it's tough to, maintain that same energy high when you don't really have everyone commenting back and you can't see every face at once. So yeah.
Well, that's what people like you and I do. I call us interactors.
Mm-hmm.
We interact with people.
Right.
And there's nothing like doing it in person. Nothing. I don't care how good the video gets.
Yeah.
The day may come that I'll have a hologram of you sitting in front of me and look real and all of that. It's still not the same.
Sure.
But
yeah,
it's the new world. I mean, you either accept it or you get left behind.
But
And I think
that's
kids
with
feel that
any
way too, don't they?
exactly, and I mean that's with any talk, right? That you can have all the bells and whistles and have the production quality, be 10 out of 10. You can make sure that you're not saying and all the Toastmaster and Dale Carnegie things that they teach you. But at the end of the day, all they're going to remember is your heart, right? They're going to know instantly whether you care or don't. And they, have this meter in their mind that they know if somebody has something vested in their well-being. And I try to make that apparent, right? That I'm here because my heart bleeds for you guys, that I have been through some of those same storms, and I'm telling you that things can get better, that you can keep your head up, that you can get through this, that things can make you stronger. And for them to hear that, that they're here for a reason, that's huge.
Yeah. Hang on, we'll take a break and we'll be back. We're talking to Kevin Szawala. He is Mr. Peace, has a company, Mr. Peace Incorporated, going to be in Bay City on the 15th, talking to various organizations. We'll remind you again who they are and how you might participate when we return.
Service Master by Fusen, your fire, water, and storm damage restoration experts. Did you know a home affected by hoarding can be dangerous and unhealthy? Dramatic action is required to address the problem and help the customer get on the road to recovery. Service Master has developed a successful cleanup service program that uses a proven process to help resolve hoarding situations, large or small. For more information on hoarding cleanup, visit ServiceMasterByFusen.com or call them at 989-200-4929. Service Master by Fusen, restoring peace of mind.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan. Just make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Still unsure about the vaccine? These Michigan doctors want you to hear them out.
We're seeing more patients admitted. It's heartbreaking for me to have to turn to my patient in the bed and just call because we're putting you on life support.
And when you have to tell a family member that they've lost a loved one, it's just brutal.
In order to keep Michigan safe, it's so important to get vaccinated.
Find your vaccine at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites quality to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Trying to find when and where you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football on WSGW? Just click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com for complete game time listings. That's WSGW.com.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
And we are back with you, and we are back with Kevin Szawala, who is Mr. Peace, be in Bay City on the 15th, talking to school groups and parents. One of the things that you talk about is suicide prevention.
Yeah.
this has become a forefront topic. It has been a forefront topic here in the Bay City and the Saginaw and Midland region for a long time. We have something called the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network. It has impacted people. What do you talk about when you talk about this to the kids? Or is this not a topic you bring to the kids?
Well, generally I have some underlying themes of suicide prevention for grades 6 through 12 and above. Unfortunately, I've been brought into elementaries, where they had a tragedy. We're seeing it at younger and younger ages. And, for me, suicide is never about wanting to die. It's about not wanting to deal with that pain anymore, that pain has just got too much. And we don't think there's anybody we can turn to. And, there's nobody that can be our champion to help us get through that. And the unfortunate part too, that we're starting to see this trend, especially with young girls, the self-harm hospitalizations have gone up with social media being introduced, and that need to feel that I have to look this way, this perfect image that's many times unattainable, that's photoshopped. A lot of the images that they see of their celebrities that they follow. And so, they're turning to self-harm, whether it's actual physical self-harm or just verbally talking to themselves in a very negative manner. And that self-hatred and that non-love gets so high that eventually they reach this breaking point. But, suicide, right, is this permanent solution to temporary pain. And the unfortunate thing that I'm also seeing is that our youth, the conflict resolution side of things has really decreased. So if somebody punches me, I'm going to punch right back, right? That we have these 6-second video mentalities that all of a sudden, our sustained attention has really gone down, but our alternating and multitasking has gone through the roof. And so it's one of these things that we just think, well, if something happened to me, then I'm going to fix it right now, right? That if somebody wronged me, well, I'm going to wrong them right back. I'm not even going to take time to decompress, to breathe, right? To really respond out of a space of love and, kindness. But the same thing with our bodies too, that all of a sudden, something happens to me painful. Well, I'm going to find a solution right away. And that unfortunate solution has been suicide in many cases.
Yeah. And they don't realize they're not going to be around to enjoy the benefit of the solution.
Correct.
Correct. It's permanent.
Yep.
Permanent. It is scary though, when we have to talk about suicide in youth. That's a scary thing. That's a very scary thing.
Every talk I give, I pick about 10 or 12 bracelets to wear, like I do have on today.
I was going to ask you about that.
I have thousands of these. This is one of my bags right here. But these were all from students.
Oh, wow.
That gave these to me after my talks and said, "Hey, Mr. Peace, thanks for being here today. Thanks for touching my heart." But the majority are from students that said, "Mr. Peace, if you weren't here today, I wouldn't be here tomorrow." Right? That's how serious, the pain issue was getting.
I have to ask this though. Yeah. I mean, most, not all, but most of these youngsters have parents, have people to go home to. Where's the breakdown in communication that youngster doesn't feel they can sit down with mom or dad and talk about this problem, which is, utilizing most of their time worrying about it, leading them to the point where they might consider suicide? Where's the breakdown?
I think you kind of alluded to it earlier in the interview, just that these youth not being able to talk on their own, and unfortunately for many of them, not being able to live life on their own, that the helicopter parents have turned into the Zamboni parents, and they're going to take care of all their problems. They're going to, do whatever they need to do to help with this situation and kind of not let them even face it on their own. But in the same context, all of a sudden, these youth that maybe feel a little bit overwhelmed by all that parental support, maybe some of it that's kind of unwanted at times, they're not going to be as apt to go to them, right? That all of a sudden they're thinking to themselves, maybe they're going to make it worse, because maybe they're going to take this issue and go tell my teacher and go tell the principal and get everybody else involved at the entire thing. And all of a sudden now I'm going to be bullied further, right? Or I'm going to be made fun of even more. And so they they just shut down, right? And then to your point too, that lack of knowing how to really communicate our feelings with one another outside of a text message, which can get misconstrued and a lot can get lost in translation. All of a sudden, how do you tell somebody that you're thinking about taking your life,
Yeah.
that you're thinking about ending things?
So how do you tell parents to read the tea leaves? Because usually there's signs. You
Yeah.
recognize them after the fact.
Right.
Usually there's signs.
I think a big part of it is that, we have to model it, right? There's a huge difference when you go to your son or daughter and say, how was your day versus how was your day? Right?
Yeah,
That
it's how you say it, right?
that we take away the devices and the things that are distracting us, and we really try to be focused and present. And we're getting pulled in so many different directions that it's hard because we're going from one activity to the next, and parents are working, and even though they're working from home, you think that family time would increase more, but sometimes it doesn't. So it's just really trying to make the time. Time is the most precious gift that you can give to anyone because we can't get it back. And so if they're able to go to them and just spend the time, start to create that level of trust that is hard to sometimes break through, especially at the teenager age, because now mom and dad aren't as cool as they were before.
Yeah.
But you start building that trust slowly by just spending time with them, by just getting to know them, that eventually they're going to get more vulnerable with you. And then you can take the conversation a little bit deeper and deeper and deeper to kind of figure out what's going on. I mean, you can definitely talk to other parents if they've seen someone, their child hanging out with them, and kind of get a summary about, what they're seeing. You can talk to the teachers, you can talk to people in their life. I mean, you talked about Oxford as well earlier. There were a lot of signs, right? And
Yeah, they were. That's a whole.
could there have been more
Yeah.
involvement from the parents? Sure. Could there have been more involvement from the school? Sure. But at the end of the day, it's up to all of us to really try to notice those things. But we got to get past our own pain first, right? We got to get past our own issues if
Yeah.
we're going to be able to even be present and know what someone else is going through. I always talk about how hurt people, but healed people heal people.
Yeah. The Oxford situation, it befuddles me how a parent could have walked out of that school without that youngster, and how the school couldn't have looked in the backpack. I mean, there were so many situations and so many indicators that would have said, you have to do this.
Right.
Yet they ignored them. And that's not unusual, is it? I mean,
yeah.
In life, we tend to ignore things that we don't want to be bothered with or upset us, what have you.
And I think about it too, that, I don't think the solution is more metal detectors. I don't think the solution is arming all the teachers. I don't think the solution is bulletproof glass a foot thick. I think it's addressing the root cause, which is people in pain. And Ethan was obviously in a lot of pain. His parents probably were too. And you think, okay, they chose to ignore certain things. Is that what their parents did? Is that what their parents did? Right.
Yeah.
That we always say people are cruel. People, that kids are cruel. But I say, no, people are mirrors. People reflect what they see.
Yeah.
And if they see hatred or love, they could reflect either. Hopefully they choose to reflect love. And that's the big lesson I try to instill in these youth, is that say, hey, you have a choice, that you can break the cycle, right? Even at a young age, that you see all this pain, but you could be that example of hope.
And, are they willing recipients of the message? I mean, that again, question I asked earlier, you've got to get their attention and you've got to get them to pay attention. Are they willing recipients when you talk about some of these heavy things?
So there's some students that will talk during my entire assembly. And generally, after I let them know that was me growing up, I was the class clown. I did it because I felt so empty and alone inside. They're the ones that come up to me afterwards in tears and say, that's the same situation with me, and thanks for being here. I had a student one time, front row, just talking the entire talk. And I get an email 6 months later from her. And she's like, you probably don't remember me. I was in this flannel shirt, and I remember her. And she said, at the time, it looked like I didn't hear anything you said, but I heard every word. And you talked about painful memories in our lives. And up until that day, that point in time, I never had that in my life. I've had a pretty good life. But last night, my best friend overdosed. And now she was reeling. And now all of a sudden the message that was planted, you know, I always say that at least the seed's been planted, because they may not be receptive now, but eventually something I shared down the road is going to hit home. You know, the Oxford shooting, we talked about that, and a couple students messaged me that afternoon that were at the high school that I spoke at their middle school in Lake Orion a few years prior. And now they were at Oxford High School, and they said, Mr. Peace, we were running for our lives. We thought about what you talked, you know, I mean, it started just ringing true that life has no guarantees, and appreciate the people that we have in our life now versus later. And it was just special for me to know that, you know, these students still remembered something that was told to them, you know, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
All right, hang on. We come back. We'll talk again about the various appearances you're going to be making on the 15th in Bay City as we talk to Kevin Szawala, Mr. Peace.
For almost 20 years, Line-X has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Line-X have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Line-X is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
Good morning. How was your sleep last night? You know, we're asked to do more for less today. So when you go to bed and theoretically you spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you are using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And I have to tell you this line about they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. I had an email from someone that said, well, I can't picture that. What do they do? Does it take an hour to put the mattress through the window? So we're going to change that now. And it's 1-hour delivery window of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or give them a call, 989-753-1757.
This is Dr. Dennis LaFoon, pastor of Bethel AME Church, of Saginaw African American pastors, and we're urging all residents of Saginaw to get the COVID vaccination shot. The health of our community determines the life of our community, so do your part and take the shot that saves lives. Join us in making Saginaw a community with immunity. For COVID vaccine and testing location information, visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org today.
Whoever said the more the merrier sure wasn't in charge of hiring new employees, because the more unqualified candidates you have for a job, the more difficult your hiring can be. And that can make the process, well, not so merry for you. Thankfully, there's ZipRecruiter, which you can try right now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology finds the right candidates for your job. But unlike other sites, ZipRecruiter goes deeper. ZipRecruiter matches people with people, and you can personally invite your top choices to apply. Hire is more than a list of qualifications. It's an individual. ZipRecruiter makes hiring the right person easy, and that'll keep you and everyone else very merry.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's right, free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Straight Talk Wireless now has the new iPhone 13 with cinematic mode, which lets you focus on what matters. And with Straight Talk, you can focus on getting the best deal. Our Silver Unlimited plan is just $45 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And it runs on the largest, most dependable networks, now with nationwide 5G. With the iPhone 13 on Straight Talk, you can share whatever you want, wherever you want. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show.
So now, gas spike.
Well, it is an exercise in branding.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back here with Kevin Szawala, Mr. Peace, who's going to be in Bay City. Peace. Yeah. So let's remind everybody again about various functions that you're going to be doing and how they participate.
Yeah, so I'm going to be there on March 15th and starting at McKenson Elementary School, talking to all the grades about bullying, looking at someone's heart first, right? That need to really see people for who they truly are. Then moving on to the Doubletree by Hilton for a noon talk for a youth appreciation event. And this is going to be put on by the Bay City Noon Optimist Club out of Bay City. And they have been kind enough to sponsor me to come to Bay City. But they're going to be honoring grades 6 through 12, some students that have done some great things in the community. And I'll be speaking there. And then following that, I'm moving on to State Theater. So it's a marathon day. Going to be talking to the parents about cyberbullying and social media. And another big point to just bring up, throughout all these presentations, every talk that I give, this is a huge concept and principle that I try to hammer home. You probably saw my shirt earlier, but it says miracle on here because I talk about how all of us with the lines on our hand have the letter M, right? So with each hand, you have at least one on each hand. Sometimes a faint line connects that I traced one of them here. But this M, along with standing for Michigan, just don't say that in Ohio.
You got that right.
This also stands for miracle, right? And upside down W for worthy.
I would have never noticed that.
That we're worthy of love to give it and receive it, right? And for these students to know that they deserve loved or deserve to be loved, and to know that they are beautiful people, they are miracles. Even adults, some of them have never been told that. Some of them just don't believe it. So
I got to interrupt because time has flown. But we really appreciate the time. I'll have to do this again down the road, Kevin.
Yeah.
Great message. Congratulations.
Great. Thank you so much. And for more information, mrpeace.org, mrpeace.org. That'd be awesome.
Good enough. Thanks. Have a great day.
Take care, Art. Thanks again. Peace.
You bet. Bye-bye now. Peace.
Mental Health Authority is looking to hire bachelor's and master's level mental health professionals and therapists, and we want to build on a racially and culturally diverse team. If you're passionate about client care and committed to clinical excellence, check out our jobs at sccmha.org and click on employment. We offer great benefits and sign-in bonuses, and a belief in potential, a right to dream, and an opportunity to achieve.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. And Green, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up at one of your 26 area Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every single fill up and earn even more when you make purchases in store. You can regularly save 10, 20, even 30 cents off a gallon, which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and start saving today. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com for the Freeland Sports Zone has sold out. But you can still check out the Freeland Sports Zone and see all the things they have to offer, like their gymnasium, their fitness floor, their tennis courts, and so much more. And make sure you keep checking back at RocketGrabPlus.com. Each week we have brand new deals, and we even have monthly deals. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
All right, that's it for the show today. Focus will be along. We'll focus on McLaren Bay Region. All of that happens right after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSG Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. The sounds of war in Ukraine's capital. CBS's Charlie D'Agata in Kyiv says Russian attacks paused today to allow civilians to head out.
The cities where ceasefires have been declared all lie along the fault line of the stalled advance, where Ukrainian troops have fought Russians to a standstill, and most aren't very far from the Russian border. Chernihiv to the north, Sumy in the north, to the east, Mariupol in the south.
From Poland, CBS's Tony DeCopel has more on a California woman's effort to get relatives out of the region.
Marina Saifi told her 19-year-old sister Victoria and 16-year-old nephew Ilya about the 622 train to Poland.
They were able to jump on a train.
Saifi and her husband boarding the next flight from California to Poland.
You sit there and you wait until your auntie comes to pick you up.
They reunited 5 days ago on that now famous train platform in Przemyśl.
When we went to the American embassy, they just turned us away. Even when I say I'm American citizen, I want to take my place to go. They have to go with me.
With gas prices climbing, Russian oil now banned in the U.S., Halima Croft of RBC Capital says other avenues are being explored.
Pay very close attention to what is happening with countries like Venezuela. There's talk that sanctions on Venezuela could be lifted, and if Venezuelan barrels start coming to the United States, that is a potential replacement for Russian barrels.
In Maryland, there's word the 57-year-old man who was the first person to receive a heart transplant from a pig in January has died. No cause of death has been given. Pfizer says it's begun testing its COVID-19 treatment pill in children as young as 6. Infectious disease Schaffner says it's an important step.
There are children who are at higher risk of getting serious COVID should they get infected. Having an antiviral drug that could be given quickly and easily to these children would be a great advance.
The South is dealing with a stormy day today. WCBS meteorologist Craig Allen.
There is a tornado watch in effect through mid-afternoon for portions of Georgia, Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle. Some severe weather has already been noted in the form of very strong thunderstorms and potentially producing some rotation showing up on radar.
Parts of the Northeast. Some members of Congress are calling for a Justice Department investigation into Amazon for allegedly trying to influence or obstruct a probe into competition. Wall Street right now, the Dow is up more than 550 points. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
A good grower always knows the forecast, and with interest rates forecasted to rise in the near future, there's never been a better time to lock in a historically low rate on a new irrigation system at your local Zematic dealer for a 1% interest rate discount on already low financing and the earliest delivery dates in the industry. So your new Zematic pivot is ready to roll this spring. Terms and conditions apply. See your local dealer or visit lindsay.com/spring sale for full details.
Whoever said the more the merrier sure wasn't in charge of hiring new employees, because the more unqualified candidates you have for a job, the more difficult your hiring can be. And that can make the process, well, not so merry for you. Thankfully, there's ZipRecruiter, which you can try right now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter's powerful right candidates for your job. But unlike other sites, ZipRecruiter goes deeper. ZipRecruiter matches people with people. And you can personally invite your top choices to apply, because the perfect hire is more than a list of qualifications. It's an individual. ZipRecruiter makes hiring the right person easy. And that'll keep you and everyone else very merry.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's right, free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
5 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Perchap. The city of Auburn is looking to make repairs to its sewer pump system as warmer weather rolls in with wetter precipitation. Auburn City Administrator David Haig met with Bay County Commissioners Tuesday to talk about using approximately $770,000 of the county's $20 million in ARPA funds to get the job done. To the request, Commissioner Kim Coonan from Bay City says while the repairs are important and need to be done, they aren't exactly pandemic related.
Absolutely should be done, especially if the city knows that they have a problem. Wherever you go, there's always updates that need to be done with funding over a period of time. I think the dollars should be used for kids, for at-risk families, and health care and mental health.
Coonan says the county needs to be wise with how it spends the rest of its ARPA money after already allocating nearly half of it to the Bay County Health Department. The Michigan Bean Festival and Michigan Bean Commission are seeking applicants for the 74th Michigan Bean Queen contest. The newly crowned Bean Queen will receive a $1,250 scholarship for college, a plaque, crown, sash, and official photograph. The queens will be required to attend a minimum of 10 events throughout the year representing the Michigan. The first runner-up will receive a $750 scholarship for college and the same gifts listed for the queen. Applicants must be high school graduates between the ages of 17 and 25. For more information or an application, visit michiganbeanfestival.org or call 989-259-0595. The deadline for applications is July 31st. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Wills and trusts, wealth management, asset protection.
Does this sound important to you?
Succession planning for the family business, elder law, probate.
For most of us, we have better things to do with our lives. But when the time comes, all of us will be glad we took just a few minutes to get our lives in order.
Reduce or eliminate estate, income, and gift taxes. Avoid probate costs and prevent will contests. Plan for the event of disability.
Who should you see? Who can you trust? Who has decades of experience in providing peace of mind for families and business owners?
My name is Jerry Reif. See me today and get your life in order.
Get some peace of mind. Check out Jerry Reif for yourself. Go to jerryreiflawyer.com. While you are there, subscribe to his free monthly e-newsletter and learn about elder law and estate planning. You can download helpful resources. Remember the website, jerryreiflawyer.com, or call Jerry Reif at 1461.
I provide legal solutions for a changing world.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A camper, tent, signs, and other items representing a former University of Michigan football player's protest against the school's handling of sex abuse allegations involving a campus doctor have been removed by the school. John Vaughn says Tuesday the small blue and white camper is gone. University spokesman Rick Fitzgerald confirmed that the university removed the camper and the other items. It had been parked outside the home of the university's president in Ann Arbor since The former running back is one of more than 1,000 people who say they were sexually abused by the late sports doctor Robert Anderson over more than 3 decades. The school earlier this year announced a $490 million settlement with the alleged victims. It's a new scholarship opportunity for graduating seniors. Here's Michigan News Network's Jason Scott.
4 eligible students will each be awarded $1,000. Thanks to Genesis Credit Union and Oxford Chamber of Commerce, students can submit an essay, artwork, music, or a video answering the question, what does the Oxford community mean to you? Students must have at least a 2.5 GPA and must be a graduating senior to be eligible. The deadline is April the 15th. Applications can be found on Genesis Credit Union's website.
BMW is recalling more than 917,000 cars and SUVs in the U.S., most for a third time, to fix a problem that can. The recall covers many 3 Series, 5 Series, 1 Series, X5, X3, and Z4 vehicles from 2006 through 2013. Documents posted today by U.S. safety regulators say there could be an electrical short in the positive crankcase ventilation valve heater. In rare cases, they can overheat and cause a fire. Fires could happen while vehicles are being driven or soon after they're parked, but BMW is not recommending they be parked outdoors. The automaker is developing a fix. Owners will be notified by letter starting on April 25th. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-1110. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. For today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a high of 42 degrees. As we go into tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies and a low down at 21. As we look to Thursday, we'll see mostly cloudy skies and a high of 35. Thursday night, isolated snow showers with cloudy skies and a low at 24 degrees. Friday, snow showers do continue with cloudy skies and a high of 34. Looking to the weekend, we'll see mostly sunny skies on Saturday with a high of 27. And as we go into Sunday, we will see a warm up with mostly cloudy skies and a high around 40 degrees. Amanda Edwards with the WSGW Weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 37.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And a good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus. I'm Art Lewis from my Second on Spirit Home studio. Focus brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. RoofMax with 2 X's. Today we focus on the folks at McLaren Bay Region, more specifically community health education, and March is colorectal cancer month, so we are going to talk about that this morning with Laura Love, who is a community health education specialist at McLaren Bay Region. Laura, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start with what you do. What is a community health education specialist, and how do you do it?
Thank you. Well, I have to start by saying that I think I have the best job at McLaren Bay Region. I've been with the hospital for over 26 years. I started when I was 2.
I was going to say, yeah. I can tell by your voice.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm passionate about what I do here every day. And I think it started when I got my degree in public health from. That was the best decision I made professionally, going into public health, because then I could help people in our community. And part of the vision that we have at McLaren is taking care of the communities that we serve, and that's where I get to help make a difference. I coordinate health screenings, education programs, support groups, physician presentations, presence at community programs like health fairs. I also work with businesses to help coordinate special programs for their employees like flu clinics, education programs, health screenings. I'm pretty blessed. I work with an amazing team here at McLaren. I report to an amazing team that support our mission of working in the community but I also work with an amazing team throughout the hospital. I work with all of our different product lines like oncology, cardiology, stroke, trauma. It really takes a team to pull together all the programs that we offer. Yeah. So we offer probably, I'd say more than 200 programs a year in all the different things that we do here.
Wow. Well, this, as I mentioned, is Colorectal Cancer Month. I am intimately aware of it. I've had, because of family history, I've had screenings every 5 years since I've been about 45, and I'm 79 now.
Okay.
And even found a tubular adenoma in one of them that was non-cancerous, but had it removed. So I understand the benefits of them. What do you tell people about colorectal cancer and why they should be screened?
I think that's an excellent question. And I think first, if we can just start with the basics, because a lot of times when I'm in the community, people are a little confused about colorectal cancer, just the basics. That they hear colon cancer, they hear rectal cancer, and that's a little confusing. And really, colorectal cancer is colon cancer or rectal cancer. Just it's where it starts. And basically, these are in the growth of the inner lining of the colon or the rectum, and it's basically polyps. And that's basically what we're talking about. Those growths become polyps. The chance of a polyp turning into cancer depends on the type of polyp and kind of what you just mentioned. It's the type of polyp, the number of polyps, if dysplasia is found in that area. And so screening is so important. And you hit the nail on the head. If you're age 45 or older, you really should start getting screened for colorectal cancer. There are several types of screening tests that you can use. There are stool tests, and you may have heard some of these, like FIT, FOBT, Cologuard. They talk about that on TV a lot.
Yeah, a little box running around all the time.
Yes, and actually that I think is helpful because then people will at least see it, they can talk about it, and it doesn't make this topic so intimidating because nobody really wants to talk about colorectal cancer. They don't want to talk about colonoscopies, which is the other type of test, a structural exam of the colon and the rectum, which is a colonoscopy. So there's lots of different kinds of tests, but the most important test is the one that you do. And getting screened, getting tested, making sure that's the only way that we can find those polyps, and finding anything is if you get screened.
Yeah. And it's a preventable disease. I mean, that's the bottom line. It is preventable.
It is preventable. And I think that when you say cancer, most people don't think prevention along with the word cancer. And I think that if we can say cancer and prevention in the same sentence, it's amazing. Yeah. So even though we don't always know the exact cause of most colorectal cancers, we do know that it is possible to prevent most cancers. Right. And the regular colorectal cancer screening is the most powerful tool for preventing colorectal cancer.
Yep. All right, hang on, Laura. I've got to take a break. We'll come back. We're talking to Laura Love from McLaren Bay Region. She is a community health education specialist.
Managing your medications from home is simple. With our easy-to-use prescription drug plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need and want, Blue Cross will be here with more convenient ways of getting it. Like we've been for more than 80 years. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team we do is for our members because it's about you always.
When you write a check or pay a bill online and something goes wrong, even the best of us gets rattled. I recently took extra time with a member experiencing that kind of frustration. Gina paid some recurring charges she suspected she no longer owed. I looked far back into her account to get a complete list of her payments. This allowed her to stop payment with confidence. She told me she could not have done it without me.
Treating members like family, going above and beyond to lend a hand when it matters most. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com for the Freeland Sport Zone has sold out. But you can still check out the Freeland Sport Zone and see all the things they have to offer, like their gymnasium, their fitness floor, their tennis courts, and so much more. And make sure you keep checking back at RocketGrabPlus.com. Each week we have brand new deals, and we even have monthly deals. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, Crohn's and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Tune in for Michigan Wolverines basketball. It's Big Ten tournament time as the Wolverines take on the Indiana Hoosiers in the second round. Coverage begins Thursday morning at 11 on 790 News Radio WSGW. Go Blue.
Your Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios. You are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
And we are back with you here on Focus, talking to Laura Love from McLaren Bay Region. She is a community health education specialist. We're talking about colorectal cancer during Colorectal Cancer Month. Is McLaren offering screenings to folks for colorectal cancer? Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, I get excited. This is so what I do and what I'm passionate about. We are offering many free colorectal cancer screenings throughout the region during March. We had one yesterday in DADX, but we still have many more. Actually, we're offering some in West Branch, Carroll, Mount Pleasant, Bay City, Midland. So we've got lots more coming up throughout March.
And if someone wants to participate, where can they find information?
Great question. So you can call. It's a toll-free number, 1-877-411-2762, or mine as well. And we have a special place where it has all the information about the colorectal cancer. It's mclaren.org/CRC screening.
We should point out, I think this is important, these screenings, these fit kits, for example, if you have a history in the colorectal cancer arena, things found in your colonoscopies and things of that nature, these tests really aren't for you, are they?
Well, okay, that's a great question, and I'm glad you brought it up, because we still recommend, because they're an annual test, and colonoscopies can be 5 years or 10 years.
Right.
So physicians, and it depends on physicians and who you talk to anymore, but the American Cancer Society is still recommending annual fit kit tests. So I think it's actually great to have that conversation with your physician, because it depends, I think, especially if you have a family history and you have a plan of action, wonderful, because at least you have that conversation.
Yeah.
But so many of what I'm seeing in the community is people that may not have that plan of action, and so that they can come and get the fit test, because that's actually what we're using. And the fit tests are nice because it is an annual test. You do it in the privacy of your home. It's a stool-based test, so we're finding hidden blood in the stool. And the way that we do it, so you come in, it's a one-on-one test. We answer questions. We go over how to do the test, because there's a lot of questions on how to do the test. And it's an uncomfortable topic. So, you've got somebody there where you can answer the questions. Then you mail your specimen back in a postage paid envelope. And then we will send you your results. If it's negative, you get it in the mail, because nobody wants to get anything like that in the mail. So, and then that gives us a chance to talk to you. But I want to reinforce that just because it's positive, it doesn't mean it's cancer.
Right.
It just means that you have to have something done, like a colonoscopy, but you need follow-up.
You've done this before. What have been the results?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm very proud. Last year, we did a regional screening, very similar to what we're doing this year, last year in March, and we had amazing results. We distributed 433 kits through those appointments that I talked about. We had 395 returned, which is a 91% return rate. National averages show that there's about 40% return rate, so we knocked it out of the park there. Of those 395 returned, we had 17 positives, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's pretty substantial. So we work with those 17 people to make sure they have a physician, first of all, that they are following up with their physician, that they're getting follow-up. 11 had the colonoscopies, 1 had surgery, and the remaining had physician visits that had additional testing, and we found 1 colon cancer. So it was a very successful screening.
Absolutely. I know you do other types of health screenings too: breast, prostate, heart health, and stroke. Let's leave everybody again with the various locations they can get information, the phone number and the Facebook and web, all that stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate that opportunity. They can always visit our website, which is www.mclaren.org/Bay Region, and search for events. The one that I gave earlier was specifically for colorectal cancer, but this one will give you all the events. So all of our screenings, education programs, the one that you mentioned. You can always check out our McLaren Bay Region Facebook page. We're always putting all of our programs and events and support groups and things that we do there. Or you can call our toll-free number, which is 1-877-12762.
Well, Laura, I loved talking to you this morning.
I appreciate that. Isn't it a fun name?
It is. Laura Love from McLaren Bay Region. Thanks for being with us and have a great day.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
We thank Laura for joining us. We thank you too. We'll take a break before we come back and find out what's happening in the marketplace from Baird & Company.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your